What's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo. It is a Friday night. It's 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. No, it's 9:30 p.m. But I am here. It is one of a kind, and it's with somebody. Who is that over there?
It's me.
Oh, it's KT and it's RVD.
Hey,
How are you guys?
Couple, epic couple.
Yes.
And Lovey.
Lovey. Wow, look at that. KT, RVD, and Lovey, and then Barbie.
Barbie.
Barbie. Wow, look at that.
RVD.
Barbie D. I like it. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Very good. How about you, dude?
Not too bad. Hanging in there. You guys got the tie-dye vibe going on today.
Whoa, we did match. We didn't
Yeah.
even plan that.
Yeah, I just like the word on when I saw this. Unfuckwithable.
Yeah. That's good.
It's actually from Eric Bischoff.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's great. Man, that's fantastic. Wow.
I like
Well,
that.
hey.
I relate to that. I'm unfuckwithable.
Hey, that's me too.
And then I borrowed it for the first year that he owned the shirt. And then he's like, "Where did this come from?" I stole it.
Oh, yeah.
Stole it.
It
Katie, how are your hotboxing thing, by the way?
was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm the champion, the hot box champion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. They burn 5 pounds. Well, he said 5 pounds of weed is what they burn at the event, and they just burn through it and shoot us with it the whole time.
Damn.
And afterwards, I don't want to smoke for 2 days. It's like the only time I get a weed hangover is those events.
Oh my God.
I don't even want to be around smoke.
Now, Katie, when did you start smoking? Was it?
When I was probably 19.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I liked smoking before I even liked alcohol.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And you thought it was cool that RVD liked to smoke?
Yeah. And so, of course, I loved that about Rob when I saw his. There's a lot of things I liked about him when I saw him on the ECW DVD I was watching.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool that he was a stoner, too.
Just say maybe, kids.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah. So that's cool because then it's a hobby we enjoy together.
yeah. That's cool. That's
We were talking yesterday about it too, and I'm such an introvert, and it's not that the cannabis makes me that way. It's just that it's so conducive with my personality. I would much rather smoke and keep to myself than be like a lot of other people that are very dramatic and expressive and enjoy, bullshitting together and screaming over each other in a room and lying to each other. I'm not very dramatic. I'm awkward even at conversation and stuff because I'm like, I don't want to talk about what this person's asking me, why I got to pretend I do?
You don't have to entertain us with small talk.
Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about that yesterday about, they don't really say a lot about the goods of weed, but, as far as being making somebody feel adequate in a social environment or something, or adequate with whatever. I mean, I've always said in interviews when they ask from an athlete's perspective, how would I explain how cannabis is beneficial? And I've always said, those other guys, I mean, my view is always a little unconventional, but I've heard for years athletes say, well, I really enjoy the anti-inflammatory effects of the weed, and I can't say that. I mean, I'll take a fucking ibuprofen and feel that. But it puts me at my best, and it gets my spiritual vibration up at its highest frequency so that I can be at my best. And that involves blocking out negative energies that would lower my frequency, which could include a number of things: audience anxieties, from the being in front of people, performance anxieties, jet lag. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're sick.
Maybe
That's
you're
right.
horny.
We're people. Maybe you're horny. Yeah. And it kind of boom, can reset me and make me feel good. Like I want to do it.
Well,
we always throw that adjective in when we
that's always a good one to throw in.
Like those stories, it was uphill both ways in the snow. I was sore. I was tired. I was hungry. I was horny.
So, Rob, would you say ultimately smoking, did it kind of open you up to be, this is kind of an obvious question, I guess, open you up to be more of who you are as a wrestler and kind of help make you comfortable, I guess?
Comfortable, yes. More of who I am, I don't think so. Although it did become the character and, you know, the thing that I'm associated with on and off character. But comfortable, yes, and it made me compatible in a world that I wasn't very compatible with. You know,
He was a baby.
Yeah, I was a baby, right? Fresh out of high school, hadn't really traveled at all, didn't know the world, didn't know how to fucking wash my clothes or cook or take care of myself or anything. I was a baby, and then all of a sudden here I am, you know, with all these fucking big experienced warriors, and like I said, I was awkward, and I'm an introvert, and I was very insecure when I started, as far as being around those guys and not having shit to put up against them when it comes to stories, you know. Yeah, so
they got like war stories. They got like stories from being famous, and then you have like high school stories.
I want a spelling bee.
I want the spelling bee.
I climbed
the rope at gym class,
you know. But then, you know, after smoking okay, cool. You guys like to smoke, you know? And I was like, we're all cool, you know, like it's all right. So it's you know, that's the best way to explain that.
Get in where you fit in.
Yeah, kind of help you assimilate a little bit in the whole grand scheme of it all. So that's good. Cool. I like it. Guys, we're live, so if you have a question, be sure to use the super chat. RVD's YouTube channel's back up and running and cooking. The super chat's back there too, so if you have a question, definitely use it, because I'll keep my eyes peeled, because I already got a lot of people in the comments.
And by the way, yeah, hold on. I always have add-ons, and then say before we move on, and want to cut them off. Something about the weed. It helps my memory. No, I'm just joking. God darn it, what was I going to say? We're talking about
feeling comfortable, assimilating in.
Comfortable.
Hanging out with grown men. You were like young, out of high school. You didn't have life experience yet.
Right. Not that far back. Well, I guess I had a point, because I was thinking, you know, then I could go from feeling insecure and awkward and not fitting in to feeling adequate and comfortable. And it was very helpful in that kind of way. But I wanted to bring up what I get sometimes is like, everybody wants to smoke with me, you know, like I'm on everyone's bucket list, and everyone, not everyone, but, you know, like it's very common to hear people say, dude, I've never even smoked. But if I get a chance to hit a doobie with RVD, I'm fucking hitting it. You know, that's probably a lot of people watching, listening right now. And man, amateur dudes, even though I just said what I said, it helped me fit in and feel cool and adequate and comfortable. But some people, especially when they start out smoking and they got the giggles and stuff, you will not fit in with me. Get away from me. You're so not fun to be around someone that's like, and then laughing, and, you know, and it's like, dude, what are you, 12? Like,
that was you last night.
What did we do last night?
I don't know. You were laughing a lot.
No.
During did you go to the Nerd Bar?
We went to Sabu's birthday party at Korean barbecue.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, man,
that was fun.
Yeah,
I'm hungry.
Oh, it was awesome. We ate for it seemed like we were there for hours, and
we got pulled over on the way back.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was driving, and I was just like, I watch cop videos every day for hours. Relax. I got this.
I got this shit.
And I rolled the window down, and before I saw him when he's walking up, he says, "You want to roll all your windows down?" and I didn't even see him. I just heard the voice, and so I answered it, and I said, "Why would I do that?" And then he just repeated it. "You want to roll the windows down? All the windows down for me?" And then I was like, "Oh, maybe he wants to look in there." And went, Bzzz. And he was like, "Thank you," you know. And then he's like, where are you coming from? I said, "That way."
Nice.
What do you think his next question was?
What are you doing? What were you doing?
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Where are you going? There you go. Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, that way. But anyway, yeah, you know, that's always going to be my answer. Like, yeah, I want to share my night with you, bro.
Yeah, right. Yes.
That was all good.
Hey, watching those videos come in handy, huh?
Yeah, because otherwise, what did I do? I'm so sorry, officer. I mean, I know I was speeding, you know, I know I was going about 6 or 7 over maybe, but so was everyone else, you know, and I know my brake lights don't work, you know, but I was going to get those fixed. You know, you just don't say shit.
Don't say shit.
Don't say shit.
No self.
Don't talk to the popo. No self snitching.
No self snitching. None of that. None of that.
No flat.
Katie, somebody. What is that?
This is going to be the only box opening that we have on tonight's episode.
That looks fancy.
And this is our weed box. This is a rolling box. And I got to show Katie what DB did for us.
What?
Oh, boy.
Ready to see this, baby? Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey.
All right.
Done it.
Nice stuff.
That's awesome. Thank you, baby.
Did that say hash stash in there? Is that what it said?
Yeah, that's the name, I guess. Yeah, that's the name of the brand. Hash stash. I had my other box for years, dude. The lid had already been broken off for at least the last 4, maybe 5 years, and I just kept using it out of convenience. And finally, I was like, you know what? I deserve a new fucking rolling box. Damn it!
Hell yeah!
So I got online.
Oh, you already got one.
So I got online and picked this one out, and it's all right. It's all right.
That's pretty tight. You should get your own. You should make your own RVD Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, true. Well, it's been discussed, but at this point in my life, everything's been discussed.
Yeah, right. What happened?
But that is something that actually has come up recently because I got the lighters ordered, and I was talking about the lighters, putting them with the rolling papers, and I was like, "What's next? How about a glass ashtray? It doesn't have to be glass, but I could just picture like that." But
yeah, glass.
Anyway, yeah, with the CBD guys, we were talking about doing a rolling box too. As a matter of fact, I have samples sent to me from India because we had a company in India that was going to do it. They sent me a bunch of samples and of rolling boxes and of a bunch of other shit too. But I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made way too small.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good size box you had right there, though. So
it's all right. It could be a little bigger, you know. Might be better, but yeah. He said it was claustrophobic. It's got little jars in it, which is cool. I used them at first, but afterwards I'm like, I just keep it in the big jar. Why do I want to keep filling up the little ones?
Little tiny ones.
They can't, you know, like each one lasts like 1 day or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rob, somebody was asking me.
Who was asking you?
I think it was one of my buddies that lives in the area because he watches the show, and he's like, "Hey, how many do you think RVD smokes during the show? How much do you think he smokes?" And I was like, you know what? To be honest, I don't know. I was like, I see him rolling, and then he's smoking. I was like, but I couldn't even give you a guess. How much do you smoke during the show?
My guess is 3.
3?
Can the fans comment? Because I don't see the fans comment.
Oh yeah, they comment.
Yeah, I gotta hit that.
Okay,
Sorry.
he hit that.
I always fucking forget.
Oh wow, I didn't even see all that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I was thinking we could have the fans guess what they think.
Yeah. How much you guys think RVD smokes during the show?
And how long do y'all film for? So like in 2 hours, how much?
Roughly like an hour and a half, right? Maybe on average, Rob?
I think we usually are closer to 2, but I don't know. We always start later than I think we're gonna start. So I don't take that into consideration sometimes.
My guess
Yeah.
is 3.
All right, so somebody said 1 million, somebody said 5,
3 maybe, yeah.
3 maybe, 3 to
Man,
4.
I feel comfortable with y'all, so I smoke. So I can be myself, chill, get a vibe. I can be at my best competitive form in case we have to fight. That's my vibration.
Oh yeah, I like it. That's the vibration going out. Katie, somebody asked, Chelsea asked in the chat, what were you
Mustard
drinking?
Green?
What Chelsea? No, not Chelsea Green. Chelsea Gunderson, her name is. She was asking, what were you drinking, Katie, earlier?
Oh, I was just drinking a protein shake.
Oh, okay.
Pumpkin flavored.
Pumpkin spice one. I lost
A
it.
pumpkin spice
pumpkin
flavor.
spice protein.
Whoa. Oh man.
We lost
How
I
is
made
it? Is it
grilled
good?
chicken and pasta for dinner.
Wait, what'd you have?
I made grilled chicken with marinated in mesquite and pasta, broccoli and cheddar pasta with it.
You can't beat that. That sounds awesome.
Speaking of comments in chat, we did a first chat in on our Only Wrestlers community chat center, so that the fans and wrestlers and whoever they can all be at the same time, same place at the same time now. So anyway,
We did that yesterday.
was that yesterday?
No, that was 2 days ago.
That was the 11th, Wednesday.
We've been active every single
You
day.
guys been busy.
Yeah, we go from not leaving the house at all to like now we just like socialites.
But I was gonna say, see Ashley. Oh, she just moved. No, see Ashley BM right there. I think she's a winner that won a prize because we gave away a couple Amazon gift cards and shit. My partners were there for Only Wrestlers, and Ashley BM, pretty sure.
Comment if you were there. Who all was there at the
Who
party?
joined the live chat on Only Wrestling?
Anyway, we're gonna do that more often.
Yeah,
sure.
him and Sabu were talking a lot.
Sabu was there.
Questions. Yeah, Sabu was
We
there.
were at the Micromania Arena.
That's awesome.
Gardens, Micromania Gardens.
My photographer came, did a content shoot. I was doing content in the background, giving people examples of what they could do. Because, like I was saying, you just do whatever you could just post whatever you're talented at. Like just because I'm sexy and that's my thing doesn't mean it has to be y'all's thing.
Yeah.
Out on there, you could cook, you could mow your grass, whatever you want to do. What things you're already doing, you can just film it.
Yeah, you could just film it, right?
That and I did a model session there, and we hung out. With Sabu.
That's
A good
sweet.
time was had by all, and some of the fans made money too.
No, oh, that's great. Heck
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, so the chat is now live, right? So the community chat and everything like that.
Yep. And the platform to follow creators, wrestlers, content, that's also live and going right now because I'm still getting asked by some people, is that ready yet? So we are going to I'm going to reach out to all the wrestlers that are on there that haven't activated their accounts yet, but said they wanted to be part of it just to be nice to me, but really they're too busy or whatever. I'm going to try and find out who those are, inactivate them, clean it up. It's time to start talking about booking some of those live shows and starting to shape everything towards that. But we're still new. We haven't even done the first vote yet, and we're going to talk about that before we talk about the actual live first show. You know, we all gotta meet, you know, and make sure everyone's on the same page and talk sense into each other and stuff. But you know, as far as the identity of the company, you know, we need championship belts. What ones are we gonna have, if more than one, and what is it gonna look like and shit like that. Like that's the stuff we need way before we need to think about the actual physical first show. But I am looking forward to it, and we are gearing towards that planning because some of the wrestlers I think are waiting for that. You know, like I've had some wrestlers say, "Let me know when you start, you know, running shows," and that is, of course, part of it.
And you're gonna do different locations, right? Is it that's okay? That's what I thought too. So that's pretty awesome too. So it up and get some good venues there and stuff would be sweet.
We'd like to have a home in Vegas, but I also know that our fans are out there everywhere, and we're finding out where they're at through Only Wrestlers. Yeah,
Heck
I know where the fans are at and shit, and of course those are going to be our first targets.
We'll be there
Nice.
in your city.
Ooh, New York City would be great.
Comics wants to know if you think that off-season NBA, NFL could be wrestlers. But my answer to that is I don't think so, because other sports, they have seasons, and when they're not in playing season, they're in training season. Where wrestling all year is everything. It's like nonstop season. So I don't think you would be able to be actively with NBA and NFL and have the time to do wrestling as well.
That's because you're constantly going when you're a wrestler. When it's like,
I think, I mean, I don't know if I understood what you said.
Like the Raiders, when they're not in football season, they're still training for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're saying wrestlers couldn't do that?
No, right? I'm saying they asked like if those people could wrestle.
I don't think that was.
Oh no, I think what he meant, Katie, is could pro wrestling have an off season like the NBA or the NFL? That's what I gathered. I think.
Yeah, that's me too. That's
I'm sorry, y'all.
That way, Milestone Comics in Denver is like awesome. That was always like a fucking destination spot for all of us comic readers and they're reading Marvel comics. They always had a sweet full page ad, and it was always like, man, they have every comic. I can't wait to be there. Way before the internet. Like if you wanted to find a lost comic to complete your series, like you had to fucking dream of going to Milestone Comics, but you could order through the mail, I guess.
Oh, man. I love comic book shops.
No, but so in off season for wrestling, I mean, you wouldn't get the same. You wouldn't get the same fucking energy out of it. I don't think that wrestlers can take time off. You know, here's one of these. Rules of thumb or expressions in the business. They say that a wrestler's worst energy, and I've heard enemy. Thank you, enema. I've heard this. I was going to interrupt myself to say I've heard this like my whole career. A wrestler's worst enemy is time off. I've always heard that, and I take that to mean, especially from the wrestlers telling me that when they stop moving, that's when all the pain sets in. That's what I've always heard. They're active, they're bumping every night, they're conditioned to go with it. And then when their job ends or they're not getting booked or whatever, and they sit home, then all of a sudden, then they're feeling all the aches and pains and stuff. And then it's not easy to go back and do it again. I think if they continued their lifestyle on the time off, then it could work, you know. Even for me, like, I mean, I continue to be active on months in between matches. Most people couldn't do that, I don't think, the way that I can. You know, I've always heard people say, I don't know, I'm feeling a little rusty tonight. What about you? No. But I do feel better and more conditioned after day one, especially if you spend like a lot of time off. And then if like a tour to Japan, let's say day one's the hardest, you know, day two a little bit better, and then boom, pretty soon you're like, okay, I got the hang of it. You feel all the bumps and bruises from that first night. So it would be counter conducive to give wrestlers time off in some ways. But, you know, it could work. But like she was saying, I think they would have to report to a ring. And I mean, depending on their experience, you know, at least a couple times a month, if not more, on the time off.
Yeah, because what I was going to ask was like, what if it was just like, so it's WWE, you know, runs year round and stuff like that. But hypothetically, say like WrestleMania happens and then it ends. And so then you have what if the rest of the month of April they took time off, and that was like the off season, and then back in what's after May, in May everybody picks it back up again? Would that something like that kind of work? Maybe just like a lesser time frame, just that's a little off season in a way,
like a dark period before WrestleMania.
yeah, like right after it ends, it's like, okay, season's over, guys, we'll see you next season. It's just once May kicks
up. Fans would do what they do when they're fans of other sports. They just find other hobbies during the off season.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You're not talking about that much time off, 3 or 4 weeks, but really most of the guys though, after, even just having a couple weeks off, especially if you're going 4 or 5 times a week, like full time, and then you have like even a 2-week break off. A lot of the guys feel rusty that first night back in. They're like, whoa, I just, I got to knock a little rust off, and it's common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rob, would you attest, and Katie, you can attest to this too. Would there be the fact that people take time off and or that they're constantly going, like you know about like back in the day, how it was always a ongoing cycle. And now it seems like wrestlers on television wrestle a lot less. Like they don't get as much opportunities to, work the craft and stuff like that. Would you attribute some of those injuries that happen to the fact that they aren't wrestling as much, or is it just that they're taking more high risk maneuvers that is really affecting it? Or would you guys feel something differently about that?
Do you have an opinion, baby?
I do. Well, I spaced out for a second because our dogs were about to fight. And then I spaced out and then chimed back in. But what I have to say is it could be, I don't know what the statistics are for injuries, but it seems like at AEW or a company that's big and they work a lot, but they don't have developmental, might get hurt more because they're not practicing as much. Where like NXT, like you get everything drilled into you and everything has to be perfect. Everything at WWE is perfect before you do it on TV. So that probably makes for less injuries.
Yeah, I think that's a good perspective. Yeah, because it's like AEW doesn't have that time frame where that developmental aspect of it all. It's like they'll go do indie shows and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know. Rob, do you feel a certain way too?
I would say the style. I mean, what are we comparing injuries now to injuries?
Yeah, do you think the reason that all these injuries are kind of happening, you'll see a lot of younger guys
years ago, as opposed to a different time period?
Yeah, as opposed to a different time period.
I would say that because the style is so much different. Everybody's a Rob Van Dam now, so everyone's doing the dives and doing the trying to out crash each other. If they're not, fighting the glass or doing death matches, it's. I mean, not everyone is doing a Darby Allin and going out there and trying to prove that they can't die, but they're taking bumps on the steps, on the cinder blocks. Fucking, it's a rough and it's an athletic style. The guys are smaller now. A lot of the bigger guys back in, like when I broke in, well, they weren't doing rolling thunders and fucking moonsaults to the floor, and that shit wasn't really being done. And those really big guys shouldn't be doing that anyway. But now it's more athletic, high risk stunt moves. It's, Katie was saying yesterday that it's a wonder more people don't get their necks broken. And we'll get to that. And I was saying not only just that, but even injured, on this show before, somebody asked me if I thought that CM Punk was, I don't know if it was weak or accident prone because he got hurt. And then I think as soon as he came back, he got hurt again or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was saying, no, I mean, the odds are very high that you're going to get injured. It's amazing that a lot of more serious injuries don't happen more often. And when I think about when I was working full time, man, I was beat up a lot. And I think that a lot of people that weren't me might have called themselves injured sometimes, but I felt like, you know what, if I can get in there tonight and work, then I'm not hurt. And that was my personal policy. Even if I had to hide that I was limping because either a groin muscle in my knee or my ankle or whatever the fuck, always ribs, bruised ribs. Oh, it's so painful. It wasn't part of the show though, They're not paying to see an injured RVD tonight. That's not part of it, which, we'll get to that too. That's also something I want to talk about. I've been having some deep thoughts about this show, man. But let me go back to the broken neck thing. Are you familiar with what happened to Chris Bay?
Yes. I don't know exactly what exactly happened, but I knew.
He took some kind of bump, broke his neck, and he's still in Detroit. we want to wish him well here on our show. Super cool dude. He's
Was at our wedding.
Wow.
He's a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
He's always there when Katie wants someone to film something. He's in town. He was there on our dispensary tours that we were doing on the trolley. And so Katie's keeping me updated on it. And he's stuck in Detroit where the show was, and he can't travel or anything. And we don't know a whole lot about what he can and can't do. But, I just wanted to bring that up and say, heal up, Chris.
Yeah.
Love to have him on the show when he's able. And we told him that too.
Yeah, he said he'd love to when he starts talking about it publicly.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Best wishes to him for sure.
Yeah, we love you, Chris. Heal up.
Such a talent too. He's amazing.
He is amazing. He's a good person, and his ring and moves are incredible.
I gotta say, like, there's a weird, awkward feeling like of guilt sometimes when I would see Hayabusa and he's in a wheelchair and he's paralyzed, and I would be like, man, he's here tonight watching our show, and I'm going out there taking a DDT off the top rope and spiking my head, and and it's like, I wonder how he sees that, if he thinks like, almost like, am I rubbing it in his face, or why him and not me? Like, there's so many thoughts that would go through my head, and I just like, like, got all the respect, for when same with draws, just it's I don't know. I almost like I feel bad for encouraging that kind of action by doing it. I don't know. It's weird, It's thankful, grateful every time, that it's not me, but at the same time, a little survivor's guilt.
Absolutely. Well, it's like anything that you do, like whether it's in the ring or even like you see all the people get hurt on the football field or anything like that.
I don't know how I got out of rotation.
It's just it's a whole aspect of the athleticism that comes into play. That's the risk that people take. And oh man, yeah, but it's got to be tough to, when you see somebody like that, and then it's just like, man, yeah, it could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Sure can. Yep.
For sure. Gianni says, "What's up, guys? Happy holidays, Rob. I just recently got the ECW TV title. Bam Bam, you gave you. It's awesome. Just like you are in the ring. I met you guys at Steel City Con. I was a vendor for Ty being cool. How about that?"
Oh, he said, "Thank you for being cool."
Oh, thank you for being cool. Ty for being cool.
But here's the question. Here's the question, though. Where did you? Because to the best of my knowledge, they don't make replica belts of that unless they just started.
I do. Yeah.
Go check upstairs and see.
No, I mean, it's always possible that I'm wrong, but I've only seen one ever that was a replica belt that was like the original ECW TV title that I had, and it was actually bigger than a normal replica belt. Like, it was kind of like the right size and everything, not quite as thick and heavy. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I said, they're making these now? Because I've never seen one. And he said, no, it was specially made. So I wonder where.
Yeah, follow up, Gianni, if you're still around and see. Yeah, then
that'd be cool if they made it, but I don't know. And it's same thing. Like, I saw it that
it's from overseas.
Yeah, he says it's from overseas.
Yeah, but still, where? I mean, what the fuck does that mean? Like, everything is overseas, Shit, you're sending me fucking searching around the world, the 7 seas. I'm going to Egypt. I'm going to Japan. I'm going to England. I'm going to Amsterdam. I'm probably going to hang out there for a little while. And then we're going to France.
Like the WWE show Most Wanted Treasures. You're going to search the whole globe for a replica of the ECW television championship belt. That
action figure store in Queens, I want to call it Another World, Outer City, Other World. Sorry, Jack, fucking owner. But we do signings there all the time. And anyway, I saw a guy there maybe 2 years ago, and he had a ring. And it was the replica belt ring, and it was mine, and I was like, whoa, I'd never seen that before. And man, he walked out, and I kept saying, damn, maybe I should have maybe I should have offered him something for it, And I was thinking about what is it really worth to me. But I actually have his number.
Yeah, hit him up.
Hit him up.
I still think about it, but I don't know what
Everyone
is it
has
worth
a
to me.
price.
Everybody's got a
If I was
price.
him, I'd be wanting but yeah, I've never seen it. It's always the one that they replaced that championship belt with, which is the Jamar brand that I defended afterwards. And that's the one that, everything matched then. The ECW heavyweight belt that Paul gave me on WWE TV was Jamar. So the TV title that looked like that and the tag titles, that was all after I'd been defending the title I got from Bam Bam for several months.
The fans are not sure if we're live or pre-recorded, but we're live.
We are live, folks. We're
It's
live.
7:04 here in Vegas, Pacific time.
We live.
Pacific time. Gianni followed up, said it was from Pakistan, is where he got that belt.
Oh,
We're going to
wow,
Pakistan.
okay.
Book it.
Book it.
All right, cool, man.
We're going. We gotta find it.
Send me one, Gianni, and I'll sign yours.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I hope to see it.
How about that? That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
So Katie and I went to UFC last week.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, we were second row at UFC. We had security escorting us, so it was a smooth night, star-studded. Everybody in the building chanting RVD. And then when they put the camera on him to show him on the Jumbotron and on the TV, everybody said he had the loudest pop out of any celebrity or fighter in the whole arena.
Made me blush.
Everybody said that. And even on TV, like people were like, we could hear Rob's pop was huge. So it was so cool, like, because it was fun.
We had a great time,
Yeah.
and we definitely like to go again. And we got all kinds of invites, to go down to the Performance Center. And what's it called? Apex.
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 That's where
Apex,
the other fights. This one was at T-Mobile Arena, but they filmed the other ones at the Apex, so they invited us to come there for the other fights. And we love fighting.
And I got to see Chuck Zito, a good friend of mine. Hadn't seen him in a long time. Actually, since we started dating.
Yeah. That was one of our first dates.
Crazy story.
Yeah, tell them.
All right, quick side story here. We were kind of new into each other and really in love. And Chuck Zito was in town when we lived in LA, and he invited us out to Beverly Hills to this restaurant to meet Sylvester Stallone because he was having dinner with him, right? Mm-hmm. And anyway, we're all there at the restaurant, and Katie and I were drinking. And we were making out the whole time. We were so into each other, just having such a great time, really getting to know each other, appreciate each other. And we were, and we had a great time. But that's the last time we saw Chuck Zito, and that was 2016 probably. And then
Joe Rogan was there.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, go ahead.
So a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago or something, at a Comic-Con, Tori Wilson was talking, and she said, I saw, she told me this, actually. She actually at first thought that it was, she said, I saw you in Beverly Hills years ago, but I didn't want to go up and talk to you because she says I was embarrassed. She said you were with your evil ex. She didn't say that. She said you were with your ex, and she said you two were just sucking face the whole time. And I was like, that does not sound like me and my evil ex. I said, and I go, wait, oh no, that was her. And she goes, no, it wasn't her. And I go, no, it was. Was it Beverly Hills? And she was like, yeah. And I said, when Sylvester Stallone was there, she was like, yeah. And I said, that was her. And she goes, oh, no wonder. I was like, what are these guys, teenagers? They've been married so long, they couldn't keep up with each other. And I was like, no, that was us. You should have come up and said something to us.
Yeah. That was the same night you said you love me.
Aww.
You.
Yeah, he said, I don't want to make this weird, but I love you so much.
Oh,
It wasn't even I love you. It
do,
was I love
baby.
you so much.
I do.
Wow.
So anyway, it was cool to see Chuck Zito. You know, dude, look, he's down there in the front row, like he always is, standing there. And we saw, who else did we see? We saw people.
Of course, Dana White.
Yep.
Chael Sonnen. I guess we saw a bunch of.
Who's the podcaster? Theo Von.
Yeah, we sat by Michael Bisbing.
Theo Vaughn was there too?
Yeah, he has a mullet, right?
Yeah, he's got the mullet.
Yeah, he was there.
Wow.
And then we rode the UFC party bus afterwards to Resorts World.
Oh.
Huge, really cool, nice new casino. And we went to the nightclub there, Zook, and Snoop Dogg performed there.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
So yeah, I was gonna give you the video clip to show, you know, us standing in the crowd, but I didn't think about it in time. But the news did pick me up a lot, like over the last week, from different interviews I've done that have popped up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know we do have some of that stuff. We did pull some of that stuff.
Yes,
so we can talk about it. And I'd like to do that before Katie takes a powder, because I don't know if she's going to stay for the whole show or not, but yeah. So you got the clip of Maven, right?
Yes, I do. Do you want to start with that one?
Let's start with that. I think this is going to be funny to talk about. It's a funny situation to me. And yeah, I think, by the way, how many people do we got?
We have almost 6,000 tuning in live right now.
Almost 6,000. Okay.
Almost 6,000.
Well, I think you guys will find this interesting. So
this was unexpected. When I was here, when I watched, I was like, what? Really?
Me too.
So here you go, Rob. Here we go, guys.
Next one is my favorite one. Everyone moans when I ask it. Smelliest wrestler.
Smelliest. Oh man, RVD.
Like
RVD.
Like New York City itself.
Yeah, like it was just, and at the time, I don't know if he did, but at the time he did, when probably smart by it, he wouldn't use deodorant. He would take baby powder and put that under his armpits and stuff. Yeah.
I had no idea. What?
I only watched. That's only the second time I saw it once. Now that I saw it again, I picked up a couple things. I didn't hear the bloke before say like New York City itself.
Yeah.
Which I guess he means because Times Square smells like weed now.
Oh.
And that's how I take that. I don't know, because it does. They got
it does.
all over. But also it smells like sewage too. But what did Maven say though? Before he said that about the baby powder, like
he said it was smart though. He thought it was smart, right?
Is that what he said? I couldn't understand.
That's what I thought he said. Is like, but it might have been smart because he was like, he didn't use deodorant, he used baby. He's like, but this might have been smart. He used baby powder instead.
It doesn't sound smart if you thought that I smelled bad.
Yeah.
You need to call him up.
Well, hold on. I want to talk about it for a minute. So first off, what a funny thing for someone to say about you and remember you by. I have never heard from anybody else that I smell like anything but weed. And you would think that's where he was going with it until he said that bullshit about the baby powder.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, right. So first you're gonna think like, oh, and when I think about it, I was told very often that I smelled like weed. A lot of people watching this may have met me at conventions. You guys know what I smell like. I would think that you could like scratch and sniff an 8x10 in me or my action figure and smell weed. Stephanie said I reek like weed. I remember Michael Hayes and Paul and everyone said, bro, get some deodorant. You smell like weed. But anyway, so I was trying to, well, a few things. First off, the thing about the baby powder, it's so funny because I always have and still do put baby powder in my armpits before I put my deodorant on.
Really?
Always have. Yeah. And that started because way back before I found a deodorant that I liked, I was using the gel sticks. And I would just put the gel stick in there, and then it would melt. And it was like, ooh, gross. My armpit feels gross because the gel like melted, you know, if it's in the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I started putting baby powder on and then putting the deodorant on afterwards. And now I use Arm & Hammer deodorant, which is baking soda, and it's made of powder anyway. But I still put the baby powder on. It goes everywhere. And then I put the deodorant on, and I feel like double protected, like it's going to help with the moisture or whatever. So obviously, Maven never said anything to me about it, or else I would have shown him the stick of deodorant. And I would have been able to dispel his concerns, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking. It was kind of. So I'm thinking like now I'm picturing like Maven's like watching me after a shower in the dressing room, and he's watching me partway, not all the way through the part where I put the baby powder on, and then came up with this thing. And then it's like, and I started thinking like, is that something like he's just always remember, or did him and Stevie talk to it? Because I haven't talked to him even very much at all. I really don't know him. Like,
yeah,
you know, I've been in business 35 years. It seems like he was in for a cup of coffee, you know, kind of in and out, like a couple of years. But I do remember talking to him about Nair. Him and Stevie were selling the Nair idea to me because I was shaving and cutting myself up and shit.
Yeah.
So I know he was like seeing me in the shower and stuff. And then for him to have in his mind this fantasy that I'm not using deodorant because I used the baby powder, I start thinking it started feeling like a little bit creepy, right? And in my mind, I was picturing like ooh, like what, like, you know. Anyway, you're gonna think this is funny too, baby.
Okay, I'm picking up.
I was laughing for a couple of days. Like, what a funny thing! What a funny lie or mis fact or false information to have somebody say about you. Anyway, it's funny, and I just laughed. Like, I don't, you know, whatever. But the other day, like 2 days after it, maybe it gave me a nightmare.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Yeah.
A nightmare over this?
That's what I'll call it. It was a dream, you know, not like an actual nightmare, but I was sleeping, and like I was in the dressing room, and it was so dark. I don't know why, but it was super, super dark in there. And I'm trying to dry off and shit. And I'm trying to hurry up because Maven is standing there looking at my dick and pointing at my dick. And I'm like trying to dry up real quick, you know, but man, why's my dick sticking out? You know, like, God damn it. You know, I couldn't hide it. You know, and I was like, you know, but he was pointing it out, and guess who's next to him?
Who?
Mark Henry.
What does he have to do with? Oh, okay.
For some reason, Mark Henry likes talking to Katie about my dick.
Well, it's not in a creepy way. It's when you're right there. And
yeah, well, I guess
yeah.
I'm stretching
Yeah,
on the floor. I'm stretching on the floor. Does that make it less creepy?
Well, I'm your wife. It's not like I don't know what your dick looks like.
Wait, so what? Why is he talking about it?
I'm not gonna. That's not for me to say, you know. Also, Big Show likes to talk about my dick. He has a few times, and first time I took it as a joke, and the second time, like, oh, maybe it's like an ongoing joke. And then Mark Henry was talking about it. I don't know. Do you want to tell him what's baby like, or you want to? I mean, how do you even answer that?
I don't remember the exact thing that Mark told me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can say this. One person, I won't say who, when I first started dating Rob, said, I heard that Rob stuffs his onesie with a sock. Is it true? Like that was like a whole rumor.
Wow.
So in this dream, and I'm trying to dry off real quick so I can get dressed after the shower, and Maven is over there and he's like pointing and he's like talking to Mark Henry. Mark Henry's like looking at my dick, and they're both doing it. And I'm like, and I woke up from it, and I was just like, man, I have to talk about this on the fucking podcast. Like wow, like what it's funny, it's hilarious. I'm gonna go down in history is him remembering me for having BO, which I've never heard from anybody else.
I never heard that
I never
either.
smelled you smell like funky or spicy in any way. And Sabu, I asked Sabu yesterday, and he used to train with you when you were a teenager, and that's the stinkiest.
I know,
and
but
Sabu even said he never even smelled you smell spicy.
But either way, I don't feel like that's something I have to defend. Could be his opinion.
I got 10 references.
Right. Maybe, I'm thinking, but I'm thinking if he did have a dislike for my scent, it was probably weed, right? And because during that time, Stephanie was like, "You reek like weed." I mean, at least be what was the word she used? There's a word that means inconspicuous, but begins with D.
At least
be discreet. Be discreet. Yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah.
We both got it. Okay. Anyway, I remember her saying one time, like, I mean, be discreet. If you're gonna come in reeking like that, at least go to the dressing room and change your shirt, And when I tried to think, and also by the way, during this time, Axe was real new. Axe body spray. Yeah. So because I was thinking, about like trying to search my brain, like let's think any odor memories or anybody talking to me, about smell. And I was trying to think, and two conversations came up, and I think that you'll think this is funny too, because I rode with Booker T.
Yeah.
And we would use that body spray. We would smoke. We would do the body spray before we go inside, right? I like to douse myself with it. I still do. Like, it goes away, but I like to smell it on myself. You know what I mean? Like, I smell nice. And I remember one time, when we pulled up to the building, me and Booker, and I was going, and Booker goes, "Hey man, that's not actually supposed to be like body spray." And I was like, "Oh, really? Well, I wonder why it says right here, Axe body spray then." He goes, "Yeah, but they don't mean like your whole body." And I said, "Huh, well then wouldn't it say like special parts body spray?" And it was just a funny conversation just with me and Book, being road wives, bitching at each other. And the only other thing I could think of was, but this is when I was in TNA. I used to wear the brown one. I don't know if it's dark chocolate. One of the chocolatey ones.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and this was in. I'm pretty sure this is in TNA, but it was Brooke. The
Adams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brooke Adams. Yeah.
Fine.
She's fine. I always.
She's got a
I've
beautiful
always loved her.
jawline. Her face
Is she the one that's Brooke Tessmacher? Was that her?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I always loved her, and got along with her really good in TNA. And I hated that I think she was dating that Jersey Shore looking dude, Rob.
Rob Stone now in the NXT, but
okay, yeah, he's an agent.
Robbie.
No. She was dating. But anyway,
that was before I was in wrestling.
Do you know who I mean though?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah,
but I know him by Rob something else, right? Like
Robbie E. He went when he was the Jersey Shore.
I'm Robbie V. Oh, Robbie E.
Robbie
E.
I'm Robbie V.
Oh, that's right. Him and his partner had leather jackets and stuff. They had like a fake Snooki. And
anyway.
Oh, yeah, JWoww. Speaking of.
Oh yeah, you saw JWoww at UFC.
At UFC.
Wow.
And she was at TNA a long time ago. All right, but anyway, just what I wanted to say was that, like one time I walked by, like we passed in a doorway, me and Brooke, and she smelled my Axe, the chocolatey one.
Yeah.
And she acted like it gave her like a little orgasm. She didn't buy it. She went, oh, and she put her hand on my chest. She goes, "I love that set." And I was like, damn. And like every time I would go by her afterwards, I'd be like, like I used it again.
I feel like a commercial for it. Like that's
Yeah.
a big selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like every time for so long till it kind of started getting old. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. It's gonna be stupid but she did it for weeks. And
Oh my God.
Every
You
time.
probably did do that too much. You're like,
Well, I would wear it anyway. So when I
like,
would see
"Did you
her,
smell me so I can get my hug in?"
when you say hi say hi to everyone anyway, and give them a hug and
You sprayed that. She's like, "Where's
squeeze
my
her
hug?"
butt.
No.
Put your tongue down her throat. I mean, you gotta be friendly. No, I love Brooke though. I always say
That's great.
She's
I did like that scent though. When I would get Axe body spray, I forgot about the shot until you mentioned it, and that was the one I would get. Boy, that would take me back to college is when I use that baby. Holy smokes! Hey,
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to say, Maven don't wipe his ass.
just
He wouldn't wipe his ass. Probably
throw
smart
that out there.
Probably smart though. He would just hit him.
Get it.
She reminded me that on our first date, that Amy Weber, I was doing a podcast with her and Uncle Creepy, and when I cough, I always hit my chest like really hard, like bam, bam, like a gorilla, and I was going, and when I did it, like without even like even skipping a beat, as soon as I did it, Amy jumped over and she's like, hit him, and started like, and I didn't even it was so weird because
freaking the peeps out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about what else you got? What else?
Yeah, we had the ringside news one.
Okay, let's talk about this first.
The one screenshot here. Boom. Now
so this
might
is
be hard.
ringside. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll read it out here. Rob's bold take on juggling a polyamorous relationship and his confidence in the bedroom are as unapologetically on brand as it gets. Love him or question him, the WWE Hall of Famer continues to march to the beat of his own drum, leaving fans intrigued and entertained by his unique look on life and love. So this
was a good article, I thought, and I would have, we could have put the whole thing up, but they could find it, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, it's on Ringside News. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I thought the article they did on me was really good, and that's how it ended. And I just thought that it was worth bringing up. I like how they put that, love him or question him, because obviously I am very unconventional, and even tonight, I'm sure I'm going to be given so many views on things that are different from other people's views, and I'm used to that. That part of that is, having that here's the good and bad to that, to being real, but being different and unique, which involves being honest and being open, where most people wouldn't and don't think that you should. I get a lot of respect for it, but then since most people wouldn't do that, it'll turn a lot of people off at the same time. Just like with ECW before, I was explaining, like, it's so good, but it's niche. Like when you go anti-mainstream, you're not going to get the majority of the people, but you're going to get a solid group that really, really thinks a lot of you. Yeah. A lot of people like my wrestling moves, also some people like my views and my values. And, then there's going to be the ones that question that. There always will be. And so there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that are just waiting for me to drop dead because everything I do is so wrong from everything they've ever been taught. And yeah. And basically, I love being unconventional. I don't want to be like everybody else. And I'm glad that, if the podcast gets a tenth of what we could be doing if we were doing the same thing as Stevie and Maven, getting 200,000 views on each video, however they're doing that, then that just wouldn't be me or my expression. You know what I mean? So for me, it's about I guess the show that I want to do, And anyway, I just appreciate all of y'all that do appreciate me too. You know, if you don't, then fuck you.
Yeah.
No,
And
you
you
have
don't
a
like
right.
to
You have
ask
a right to
guys.
disagree. Everyone always has a right to disagree with me, and I expect you to. A lot of times, if you're the majority of the people, but that still don't make you right.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. No, that's what I like about this show too. Is like it is unconventional. It's not the same thing. That's like we interact with the fans. We talk wrestling. One of a kind. Yeah, that's great. We
Yeah.
talk wrestling, but it's like not the huge focus a lot of the times. It's we go all over the grid. I like that aspect of it all.
If we just wanted ratings, I'd probably quit smoking on screen too, because that probably doesn't help. A lot
I
of
don't
people.
know. I'm always curious. I don't. The more I've seen it, though, I don't think it really affects it that much. Unless maybe I'm wrong, though. It could be.
But from my understanding of the
He dropped the
main
cherry.
another hole in the carpet.
Oh, what, bro?
From my understanding of the
Algorithm.
the basic thinkers' thoughts. You know, I think that a lot of them could discredit everything we're talking about and think like, I don't want to watch him fucking getting high on camera. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think a lot of like basic thinkers think, like, because, you know, they'll say like, I don't put credit into fucking stuff that stoners say. You know, it's like, all right, well, you know, if I got no credibility, then I'm not gonna waste my time breathing your way.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great point, though. It's like, yeah, people might think a certain way about that and all that, but not the case. Seth just gave us $20 for nothing.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
And we
does
love
that every
you.
week.
And you don't even have to do that because we love the song that you made.
I know
You've already
paid
done
off and did it.
stuff. You do too much.
He does. He's got a new song out, guys, too. So check it out. It's on Spotify.
So good.
Yeah. You can check out A Little Higher on Spotify, and you can also check out his new Christmas song you got out too. I got Seth. If you're still around, tell us what the song is.
Plug it.
Yeah, plug it on there. I'll pop it up on the screen for sure. So
cool. And I was in the hallway filming like TikToks and Instagram videos when y'all were filming the podcast, and the song was on for the countdown, and Rob walked out to get his sword, and that's when I made a video, and I'm dancing to his entrance song on there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, I love that your song just happened to be playing when you're walking by, and we filmed the video because it's my favorite song. And one day, if there's ever like a wrestling karaoke, I think that would be a good song to sing.
Ooh, that is a good idea.
I mean, not him, but someone.
I had my letter opener in hand.
Yeah, it was his letter opener.
Ooh, well, I tell you what, I'll say this: if we do karaoke together at any point, I will sing that.
Singing it.
I will sing the song.
I'll do it with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm game for it. I just got to get a couple in me, and I'll be good to go.
I'll do it stone cold sober.
Was there more RVD in the news this week?
So I pulled up a couple articles. Let's see here. What's the other? What did you see? What the Undertaker said about you in WrestleMania 18?
Nope.
Okay. So we did talk about the potential of you fighting him at WrestleMania 18. I remember on one episode, but
potential of me fighting
Undertaker at WrestleMania 18.
Oh.
So this is what he was said on his 6 Feet Under podcast. The Undertaker revealed that Vince McMahon came to him ahead of WrestleMania 18 and said that he only had two possible opponents for the Dead Man. One was Rob Van Dam, and the other was Ric Flair. Undertaker chose Ric Flair, which came as a surprise to the former chairman of WWE. So this is what the Undertaker said on his podcast. He said, "That was a lot of fun. I remember Vince coming to me that year. I didn't have an opponent." And he comes up to me, he goes, and he's like apologizing to me. He goes, "Mark, yeah, we booked all this out. I don't have anybody for you." He says, "You can either have RVD or Flair." And no, nothing against RVD, because I really had good matches with RVD. I was like, Flair. He looked at me like, what? And I'm like, I want Flair. And he said he couldn't grasp it. Flair had a run in WWE, but he wasn't a WWE guy. For me, it's Ric Flair. I said at WrestleMania, "Are you kidding me? I want Flair." And Flair was on the backside of his career, but still, that whole thing was a lot of fun. That's where I went to beat up his kid at the training center. That was one of my favorite vignettes I've ever did. So that's what he said on the podcast. So
you would have got a huge payday.
yeah. Oh heck
Damn
yeah.
it!
Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it, Taker.
Damn.
So yeah, WrestleMania 18 is when I wrestled William Regal and won the Intercontinental Championship belt, and that's a awesome memory for a lot of us. They made an action figure out of it. That's cool. I have that to remind me, and that was awesome. That was the first time that I had been in front of that many people, 70,000 people ish in the Toronto. What was it? Not the Canada Center.
The Toronto, not the
I think it was
Thunderdome.
Air Canada Center. Anyway, whatever it was. Awesome experience for me. If I would have wrestled Undertaker, there's no telling. I mean, we obviously I have good matches with everybody, but I could imagine where that could end up being more like let's throw RVD around like a rag doll and then slip out of something and catch the Van Daminator or something. And, I don't know, as far as a showcasing, I probably did some cool stuff with Regal. I don't really remember the match, but let's just say no regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about the Regal match on here before too, and that is a great match of yours. Like, and people appreciate that one a lot. So it's just like,
and I could see where for him wrestling Ric Flair at a WrestleMania could maybe be like a bucket list kind of thing for the mark inside a mark.
yeah, the mark inside of Mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that would totally make sense. Yeah, but heck, but the thing is, the whole roundabout thing of this, Rob, is you are now the Undertaker's no longer undefeated at WrestleMania, but you.
That's right. Isn't there someone that's tied with me? One of the girls?
No, I think you have to hold the record.
Okay, because I had one.
That's crazy.
I remember reading that someone else, a female, was 4-0.
The king of WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Pay-per-view, Mr. Monday Night, Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. By the way, I was just looking at my notes, and you asked me who some of my favorite MMA guys were in UFC last week, and I couldn't think of I don't know a lot of the new younger guys. Everyone that I could think of was from years ago, especially when they had the reality show, which I don't think they're doing anymore. Ultimate
No,
Fighter.
they don't. Yeah, Ultimate Fighter
was still back there, but anyway, I forgot a lot of guys, I'm sure, but one of them is Frank Mir. So I just wanted to say, big fan of Frank Mir's. And when I met him at a Comic-Con, I actually thought he was Mark Jindrak.
Really?
Did you see that or no?
I could. Yeah, Frank Mir.
And I hadn't seen Jindrak in at least 10 years, so and I just thought, he was jacked like a motherfucker. And I thought it was Jindrak for a while. Then I was like, oh, Frank, no, I'm actually a fan of yours. I thought you were, never mind. But he did some wrestling too and was training for it. But anyway, he beat Brock. And that's when I really, if not before, take notice of him. But I'm sure I did before. But he's always like he was in that first match with Brock or both of them. He's always so calm, cool, and collected, just waiting for his shot. And he comes across so confident. It's cocky, but then he backs it up. Everyone loves a guy like that, the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about is there anything else on RVD in the news this week? I'm gonna start doing that finding shit that them talk me being.
I like it too. I'm gonna make a graphic for it too.
There was something, and this also gave me the idea for this, but a lot of times I don't feel obligated to respond to false information. It's just out there.
Yeah.
But Katie was reading something from somebody, and it's it starts out, and remember, and it said that Katie and I have been married since February of some random year. but the month is off. And then they said she's from Tampa. And there's just like so many missed facts. And we always wonder, at least I do, like, did they just make it up? Sabu says, yeah. Well, yeah, they just make it up. They don't care.
Yeah.
But I wonder, or is someone lying to them? I've said this several times on the show, but anytime I've ever read anything about my income, when it talks about money that I made anywhere in any company, it's never even fucking close. It's always so far off that I have to wonder, like, did they just pull that out of their ass?
Yeah.
I gotta think so. Or they Google it and it's lazy and it's just like not accurate. I don't know. It's just, I think it really boils down to laziness or negligence or anything like that.
I think laziness. They just want to get an article out.
Right.
That was a story on Katie, so
Yeah,
that was
so
cool
y'all,
that they
I'm
did
from,
that.
Yeah, but everybody, for the record, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Rob and I met April 1st, 2016, and we got married 11/11/2021. So we were dating a long time before we got married because of the pandemic.
She was already my wife, baby.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hey, how about Drew McIntyre?
Yes, I have the clip, so we can play the clip. Do you want to? I have his whole comments on here. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's watch the clip. I saw this when I woke up and saw he's making the news. He got a lot of attention for this.
yeah, big time. All right, guys, here it is. This is from Busted Open. It was their holiday special, I think it was called, but here it is right here. Drew McIntyre wins an award. Bully Ray's on there. We got Mark Henry and we got Dave LaGreca and Tommy Dreamer there too. So here it is.
Mark Henry, leave my dick alone, dude.
Carved out a path based on your opinion of what things should be and sticking to that. How does it feel to make other people follow suit? Like you said, you see other people following suit.
I mean, it's good. It's good for the industry. It's good for everybody. And if I felt the same way I felt a few months ago, I'd be really happy. You know, I've always given to this industry, probably too much, and I never really feel like I got too much back. And I would be over the moon if I felt like people were following suit and it was going to be good for industry in the future. And to be completely honest, after Hell in the Cell, I went back home. A close family member died. I don't care about the staples in my head, all that shit. Like, I can get over injuries. I've showed up with broken bones. I never told the office and worked right through it. But I've never had true time at home ever in 17 years. I've only ever been home when there's a wrestling show. I've missed weddings, birthdays, some funerals I should have been at just for this industry. My mum passed. I went home for a couple of weeks. I was straight back at work. I never truly dealt with it. And then going home this time and spending real time with my family, I realized I might have made a mistake. I've given and given and given and given to this industry, and it's taken and taken and taken from my real family. And I'm trying to keep it together. I respect everybody sitting with me right now. But as much as we're on the road, we call each other family. That's a matter of convenience. I was with my real family, and when I was gone for that 3 months, I can count on pretty much one finger how many people checked in, like, how you doing, Drew? And it really opened my eyes. What's going on around here. I tried to stay away from the social media and the likes. Obviously, I'll be back ripping people, being myself. But I see things like someone cuts a 1 minute promo and, that's the best promo of the year. Or what have you done for me lately? Like the same old crap. And it occurred to me, like, why are we placating so much to the smart marks, to the internet fans? When did things change? And I realized it wasn't like when we started together. I was a young kid. It's when we started letting the marks in the locker room. And it's really getting to me. And I hate to say this, I gave and gave and gave. And as far as in wrestling on TV is concerned, I'm going to take and take and take. Like, tomorrow morning, I'm still going to be out there helping the homeless, things that really mean something to me. But when it comes to Drew McIntyre on TV, Drew McIntyre in general, I really hate to say this because I didn't believe it till the past until I saw the proof right in front of my face, the lack of contact, and the look in my family's face and realizing everything that I've missed, that I'm just going to take from now on. I'm going to leave this industry. I won't be one of those guys when I was a kid in the locker room during the Indies, so we're just chasing that last paycheck, just chasing that last shot of glory. Please remember me. When I leave, when I retire, I'll have accomplished everything. And it doesn't matter if you're Mark Henry, Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer, Drew McIntyre, Stone Cold Steve Austin. When you're gone, they move on, they forget. And it sucks, but it's true. So as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the internet, I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
Boom.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Heck yeah.
Pretty heavy,
On
right?
out.
Pretty heavy, right?
Heavy
Was it a
duty
sh-
stuff.
Was it a shoot?
Yeah.
I think blended for sure. It's definitely because I've heard Drew talk about this in previous articles months before about like how he misses his family and certain things like that, and how that really does affect him being away.
Yeah.
And so, but I at the same time, I think he's leaning into the aspect that he is a heel, and he's digging into the ardent fan base, and so I think he's walking that fine, awesome balance where it is like he's speaking truth about it all, and it's like a hard truth about the industry. And so, yeah, I was excited to hear your perspective on this, Rob, and Katie too.
I feel like this could be like a pretty deep conversation, okay? Because like let's try to break down what the meat is of everything that he said. In other words, if there's a point and we had to put it in just as few words as possible, I think that he's saying that he gave up time that he'll never get back with his real family for the job. And he maybe was a little too gullible in buying into the road family philosophy and got his feelings hurt when he found out that that's not your real family, right? I mean, is that basically like what you got out of it?
That's what I got out of it too, is that he was like, yeah, there's that facade of, hey, we're a family, like we're on the road together. We're we're road wives or whatever too on the stuff. But now, like when it boils down to it, when I'm home, people aren't checking up on me. You maybe get a few friends in the business, but ultimately your family is your family. And that's what I'm gathering from it too.
So that's pretty heavy, and I definitely want to talk on that for a minute. They do sell themselves as your family, the wrestling business in WWE, that hey, welcome home, back to your family. And it kind of is, but there's a big difference between a working family and real family. What it seems like Drew is awakening to, I learned a long time ago, and I can, I was a little bit surprised, when I was in WWE, you do make some real friends, possibly. Some of the work friends can become some of your real friends, and you could form a bond and stay in touch and all that. But the wrestling business is a very look out for yourself, individual pathway kind of industry. It really is for the most part. And because of that, a lot of times, like when I left WWE myself in 2007, I guess it was, I was a little surprised when they would come to town and nobody would call me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, like, they know I live here. And then I'd be like, well, they're working, and then maybe they're tired, or maybe they're going out there to got planned, whatever it was, like a little bit. I remember when I first started feeling that in my heart, a little bit like they don't give a fuck what. But I'm guilty of it too, though. And so looking at it that way, it's like I have to say I get it. How many times, when I was in Battle Creek a couple years ago, how many people did I not contact? I didn't think about it. Was too busy, whatever reason. And a lot of times I would do that. I go in and out of town, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot so-and-so lives there. Fuck, I should have invited him to the show. But the reason that I'm pointing out how self-agendaed this career is because I got to word this carefully, because I know I'm going to get heat for this. This is one of the things, my unconventional ideas that I know not everyone is going to look at it this way. So how the Army, anyone that's in the service, they all day when they're wearing the outfit or someone finds out, oh really? You know what branch were you in? Oh, the Army. What does everybody always say?
Thank you for your service.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like those guys can convince themselves, they can get used to hearing that so much to where they feel entitled to it, and maybe even convince themselves that was a big sacrifice for them to join the Army for all these other people's freedoms. And it is a part of it. But if they're being really honest with themselves, a lot of them didn't do it just for that reason. They did it to give themselves a better life. Can you hang with me on that?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Sure.
So with wrestling, same thing. A lot of times fans will say to me, hey man, I really appreciate you, sacrificing your body for all of us fans, and means a lot. And I take it as a compliment, and I love to hear it, and I understand what they mean. But at the same time, the other side of that is when I was 17, 18, saying I'm going to be a professional wrestler, was I doing that to give myself a better life, to follow dreams I wanted to do that and excite people? Or was it for the entertainment of others because I wanted them to have a good time?
Yeah, no, it was more for you. Yeah, right.
But it is part of it. So the more, that you think about it, you know what? Let me ask you this. Is showing off, is that selfish, or is that to entertain others? Boom. It's a tough one, right?
Yeah, I think it's
so that's really like what I wanted to wrestle for, was to show off. It's fun showing off because of the reaction that you get for it. When you're a kid, maybe it's goofing off, whatever you got to do to get attention. But so that is definitely part of the formula. And so, when they want to express from their perspective how thankful they are, it's not out of place at all. But at the same time, sometimes I like to separate my ego that would just say, give it to me, I deserve this compliment, and set that aside, and then say, hey man, that's just a fucking bonus. That's just a bonus that I helped you get through your hard times in the hospital when you were laid up, and you'd watch me, and it gave you the strength. And you know what? I fucking love that my image did that for you. But if I'm going to stand on a podium and say I sacrificed for them, then I just think it's worth a little conversation, a little debate. And I think that we could all say, yeah, we sacrificed for the fans for sure. But at the same time, what are we sacrificing from? In other words, let me say it like this. Here's a fan talking, hey Rob, I really appreciate that you sacrificed your life for me and beat your body up and went out there on the road night after night. And I'm glad. I just want you to know that I appreciate that you did that for me. Cool. Cause that is part of why I do it. But at the same time, I'm losing my train of thought. Fuck. God damn it. Give me a minute.
Yep.
What am I sacrificing from? Hey, Rob, man, you could have had a normal life in a cubicle in an office like all of us people, but instead you gave that up. You could have had a wife and 8 screaming kids and be bitching about trying to come up with mortgage and the gas prices going up, but you gave that up for me, and instead dedicated your life towards entertaining me. Thank you. Can you see that side of it? Like, yeah, okay, it's a rough life, but I chose to do it. But that's because it was a better choice for me. I didn't want the conventional life. So you get that too, right? So I'm just saying, if you roll back the entitlement a little bit and can open your mind up enough to see it from that wider view, and there's different angles to look at it. Drew learned, just like all of us, that you can't be in two places at one time. So he chose, just like we all did, to do the job, go to work. But the reason was because that's going to give you a better life overall.
Right. And Rob, I think it's the aspect of getting into the pro wrestling business. I think it would be super really forward thinking if you're a young person wanting to be a wrestler, being like, well, I want to sacrifice my body for the fans, and I want to make sure that I'm doing it and like giving them the entertainment because they're working.
It would take a really selfless person that, this town is so depressed. This town needs something to cheer it up, man.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go out there for everybody else here. Yeah. I think just inherently, like something like pro wrestling, something like acting, something like that is just an inherently like kind of like you're thinking about yourself and getting yourself over.
I mean, that's part of it, and you can't. I can't ignore that part just to grab the entitlement and say and it's not that I don't appreciate their appreciation, and I do, but I'm just trying to,
right. No, but that's like an added element that comes later on.
Well, no one's offended by that. It's not that we don't care about you, but I just like to point things out from the one-of-a-kind perspective, because a lot of people probably don't look at that. And I don't want to offend people in the military, but if I say thank you for your service, I appreciate that you did that, so I don't have to. But the reason you did that was because it's going to give you a better life. That's what you chose. It was exciting, adventurous, whatever, so congratulations on following your dreams that I happen to benefit from.
Well, yeah, I think and again, I think that would take a lot of forward thinking too. If somebody's going into the military, being like, "Well, I'm going to sacrifice. I want to sacrifice so I save all these people," and maybe that's what they
these
think
damn
about.
Commies,
these damn commies. But like, and maybe some of them do think about that. But
right.
I think that when somebody says that too, thank you for your service, or somebody's like, "Thank you for sacrificing your time and your body in the ring for me." I think a lot of people don't think about like, oh, he did that for me, or he did it. Like, I think that's just an after effect. They appreciate that you did it anyways, even if it wasn't for that wasn't your intent. That wasn't your main intent. So I kind of think of it that way, because it's like, no, anytime when I wanted to do acting and stuff like that, I was like, oh, I want to hear the cheer and get the dopamine fix of hearing fans laugh or people laugh in the crowd.
But you also don't give up your family time for the WWE, and for the same reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then when you feel, fucked over because you learned that they're not really your family, then, then really, what did you do? Did you give up your family life for them, or you did it for you? That was my point. I got to pee. I'm going to let her take over for a second.
Sure. Yeah, Katie, do you have some perspective on that? What do you think of that, Drew McIntyre? And I think, like I was saying too, I think he's balancing being a heel at the same time, but also like giving.
One of the first things that I learned when I joined wrestling school from my mentor Luke Hawks at Wildcat Wrestling in New Orleans, one of the first things was that when you join wrestling comes first before anything, before your family or birthday parties, friends. Wrestling has to be your number one priority. So, and that was just on a, just starting off in wrestling. Then the type of schedule Rob used to be on with WWE is like even more so, where you're always on the road with people, and they can become your like wrestling family. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people say that too, that they, when they're like out from wrestling. They're like, and I didn't hear from one person, like not one person's hit me up since I haven't been actively on TV. But also when you're a wrestler, you're all really, really busy too.
Yeah, that's the other aspect. Is like you're kind of in the mode. You're in the fast lane when it comes to all that stuff. And like if you get off on an exit, then you're not there. So it's
Yeah.
just, you know, it's
That's why I try to text my friends when I think about them.
yeah, and that's always good to do, you know.
Yeah.
But it's tough to be mindful of that too when you're in the thick of the action at the same time.
Oh, you guys are still talking about that boring combo? No, I'm just joking. Like, a couple of years ago, maybe last year, in the last couple of years, you can go.
Okay.
But I
Katie,
just
did you want to plug anything though?
Oh yeah, y'all follow me on Instagram, Katie Forbes. The
For real.
4, right? Yeah, that's it. Katie Forbes, the number 4 real, and Twitter is the Katie Forbes, THE Katie Forbes.
And follow her on Only Wrestlers.
Follow me on Only Wrestlers. My page is free, like Rob's is.
I just wanted to say, within the last couple of years, WWE had invited me out to the Hall of Fame, right? And I was talking to Johnny Ace on the phone, who I've known since '93 and wrestled a lot in All Japan. And he was like, yeah, Robbie, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. It'll be nice. It'll be good to see you. I'm really looking forward to it. I was all right, cool. You know, like, wow, man, good energy. And I got there and I was like, hey, Johnny. And he was like, hey, Rob. Shook my hand and just looked at my eyes.
You thought y'all were new besties.
So that's pretty much sum it up how it works. You know.
Damn. Yeah. Holy shit. I think Scott Hall said it, and maybe Nash said it. I know it ain't show friends, it's show business.
Right. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Yeah. We got some super chats in here. Frankie said, sorry, I just tuned in. Thanks for the $2. And then he asked this question. Are there
Coco Beware's bird?
Yeah, Coco Beware. Yeah, that is bird. I think he's supposed to be on Saturday night's main event tomorrow.
Bird is the word. Oh, cool. I love Coco Beware, but
yeah.
Frankie was his bird's name. You remember?
That's right. And didn't he die? I hate saying it. Didn't he die?
I don't know if there was there just one for all those years? I guess there was.
Yeah, I think it was, and I think he died in a fire.
Damn.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't like hearing that. But Frankie asks, are there some guys you hated to see leave ECW?
Some guys that I hated to see leave ECW?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. You know, right? I felt like each time they did that, it made us weaker. And the guys I remember that were jumping were pretty important for us. You know, like I don't remember what order it was, but I remember Raven, and then I remember Sandman was gone. Of course, Taz, Mike Awesome. You know, though that hurt. Those were some major holes in our fucking company. So it wasn't like they were like just some undercard guys. You know, fuck them. They don't belong here. So yeah, it sucked. For I personally, I did not like it. I don't remember being angry or anything like that. I was like, hey, all right, man, more on my shoulders. I'll fucking do my best to carry on and keep us going. And that's kind of how I looked at it. But anytime I talked to one of those guys, I'd be like, dude, don't go. Because I thought we're going to blow up here, which, you know, never was even possible, I guess, after to an extent anyway. It would be impossible for it to get mainstream because of its very nature.
Was there one in particular, like a certain talent when they left, that felt like a real gut punch? Like, oh, I don't know if we can recover from this. Or did you always kind of have the thought like, oh, we'll make it through, but that sucks?
I guess I had what an ugly feeling it is to say this, but I guess I had a feeling when I left that they were done. Yeah. But I mean, I jumped off of a sinking ship, so it's not like I was like, if I stay, they're not going to be done, you know?
Yeah. Mhm.
But I did feel like me leaving, and was going to be a pretty large size nail in their coffin. Short of that, I thought we'll just keep going, maybe recruit some new guys. Maybe we'll grow, people will come back. I don't know, but like those guys that I mentioned, that was the very foundation of ECW. Dudley's even went to WWE, didn't they, before 2001?
Yeah, they did. 2000, I think they left.
So, yeah, what's going on with our product? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. No, you were very much, I think, the keystone of it. If you were there, it felt like ECW was still in the thick of the action. But if you were gone, I was like, okay, there's
when I jumped, I mean, they only did I think one more show, a house show, I believe, without me. And after, I was like, I'm done. But I mean, I knew that they were done. If I thought me staying is going to keep things going, then maybe I would have made different decisions.
Yeah. Speaking of the Dudleys, Kyle Z asks this. Hey, Dom, can you ask Rob why he was so stiff with Spike Dudley? I've been watching old ECW RF tapes, and their matches always seem rougher than usual. Were you stiff with Spike Dudley? You were pretty stiff just in general, though. And
yeah.
How did Spike react to all that stuff? Working with you.
I beat the shit out of Spike. Yeah. That's what you do with them. Got a 100 and maybe 65-pound dude in the ring, with you. What else are you going to do? But and that was excuse me. That was what Spike was good at, was his durability, his endurance. He was able to take an ass whooping and keep on going, and that's kind of what got him over. And I was pretty snug with everybody anyway, but those matches, I remember those as being pretty solid. I had fun with it. I don't know. That was my style, and I love Spike. Still do, and I love doing that to him. Taking it and giving it, both.
Yeah, man, Spike was a blast. It's great.
Sometimes I would throw all the chairs in the ring, just go around and throw them all in and make a pile of them, and then when I come in the ring, he'd kick me in the stomach and headlock me and run up the corner. And sometimes, he would either bulldog me on the chairs, or sometimes I'd throw him off right in the pile. That was fun. Yeah.
That's some good shit. I'm going to go back and watch some of that shit.
Yeah.
My new objective, and I don't know how much longer I can do this too, because they're going to remove a lot of the archive content I heard from Peacock once they move to Netflix. But my idea is I'm going to start watching ECW from when you debuted, and then just go from there. And so anytime I watch it, then I can maybe take some notes and maybe ask you some added questions or something like that. But that's going to be my goal, is to start watching ECW from right when you started and moving on.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I always say that I want to catch up on ECW.
Yeah.
When there was the WWE network, it was so easy to catch up on those collections. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now it's just
found Rob through an ECW DVD, and I was automatically, this is my favorite. I just love the trashiness and the ratchetness. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm friends with all the living ECW people, it'd be cool to catch up on it too.
Right? How cool would that be?
Yeah, since they're all my buddies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just want to watch it too, just to appreciate it, because it was what you were saying, Katie. It felt so underground, and I love the fucking music was copyrighted and still got used, and it's just great.
YouTube, Chris gave me a DVD of I think it's either every TV match or every TV title match, but I think it's the whole ECW run. But anyway, it's a DVD, and we don't even have a DVD player hooked up.
Oh, wow. It's still good to have, though.
I haven't watched a DVD since we've moved here, and that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never hooked one up.
I used to collect DVDs, and now they don't matter anymore.
Oh, laptop don't play them. I have a lot of WWE DVDs, comic boxes full of them that I'm on. from mostly pay-per-views and shit, but also like video games, and most of that shit's still in plastic.
That's
I'll
awesome.
just keep in a box. I don't know. Maybe I would display it sometime if I'm on the cover of it in our bar VD.
Yeah.
The bar VD. Ooh, I like it. The bar
Or pass
VD.
it down to future generations.
RVD. Baby Mahara has an interesting question for both of you guys. He says, "Hi RVD and Katie. Did you meet Jackson Riker ever in TNA or WWE? What was your thoughts when he got wrestlers mad on Twitter like Batista? Is he blacklisted?"
I need to Google him. I don't know who he is.
Jackson Riker was Gunner in TNA.
Oh, okay. I didn't know him. By the time I got in, the only thing I knew about him was I toured India with his Jamie, and I think Jamie used to be married to him.
Oh.
Forgot her last name, Jamie. Black hair. Well, anyway, by the time I got into wrestling, he wasn't as active.
Yeah. I knew he was in the military.
What was it? What was the question?
What were your thoughts when you got wrestlers mad on Twitter like Batista? Is he blacklisted?
Oh yeah, no. I don't know much about that, but I got along with him when I was with TNA. I can't remember who his partner was, but he was a tag team. There was like Beer Money, and then they would work with him, Gunner, and the other dude. The other guy was some kind of fitness instructor or something.
I'm trying to think who that was.
I just remember him talking about that. Like they would train people. Anyway, Gunner back then was always cool and stuff. And I can't remember what he got his heat for. I kind of remember some kind of little scandal. Like I don't know if it was homophobic views or something.
I think something like that. And then there was like, I don't know if it was like kind of like the QAnon stuff. I don't even know exactly what it was, but
something that's not woke, right?
Yeah, basically. And now he's out of the business. He retired, and now he's a cop, I think. So I follow him on Instagram. I heard his interview probably almost 10 years ago. He did one with PW Torch, and I liked him. I thought it was a good interview, and he seemed like a nice guy. So
yeah, he was nice when I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy how we like match and we didn't plan that.
I know. I like that too. I was like, oh wow, I thought you guys did. I thought you planned it.
So matchy. It's like the pink and yellow tie dye. Crazy.
Yeah, it looks good.
Team.
That's what'll make the cover for
our secret thing.
The episode background will be tie dye.
We've never done that in front of fans.
That's our high five.
That's what we do.
What is it? Show it again.
We accomplish stuff at home. We go like this.
Oh, that's good.
Couples, feel free to use that.
I got to do that with my cat. That's the only.
And a fun fact: when Rob and Kaylani on NXT had their like secret handshake, that was my idea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then they go like this. They go boom, boom.
Yeah. Oh, that's badass. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they gotta get you back in the mix down there, Rob. Frankie adds, "How do you protect yourself from an unsafe working?"
Well, first off, at my level, you shouldn't be in the ring with unsafe workers too often. Sometimes I do work some green person that a promoter wants to, give a rub to instead of other like main eventers. That does happen sometimes, but by reseating them. So if somebody is unsafe, then there's a physical way of letting them know by, kind of shooting on them, hopefully for just one move, but could be like a little something. It's like there's like a balance and check system out there. But if there's someone that's overall unsafe, like with everything, and he's just unsafe, probably doesn't belong in the business, So what are you paying me all this money for to be in there with someone like that? So people that I wrestle, TNA, AEW, WWE, even if once in a while somebody does something that's a little careless, I don't think anyone that I work with I would consider an unsafe worker, like overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's just and yeah, what you're saying at your level now, it's like, how often would you work somebody like that now?
His body's worked too much to put him in there with somebody that's just having their first match.
Right. Yeah.
And if I get an idea that they want to do some unsafe shit before the match, I'll just shoot it down. Like, fuck
Yeah,
no,
right?
fuck that.
No, I'm not doing that shit.
Fuck that.
Do that.
There's been times that I have been careless when I was learning, when I was coming up, and I had to be careless and fuck up in order to learn how to care. You know,
yeah,
it's true in a lot of areas in life.
Right, absolutely, it is. What did I see?
I saw your question. Someone asked where I got my latex money cowgirl hat.
Yeah,
but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So comment on my Instagram, Katie Forbes, the number 4 real, and then I'll find it for you.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Top notch.
I have the latex cowgirl hat, dress, outfit, like chaps. I got the whole set, and I'm actually was thinking about wearing it this weekend because I'm going to a cowgirl event.
Oh, nice.
Rodeos in town in Vegas, so it's like everything cowboy for like the whole month of December.
3 more days,
it's
right?
Cowboy Christmas. Yeah.
Cowboy Christmas. Giddy on up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love going. So for some reason, it was like the past few years, I would go to Vegas during December, and I would see the Cowboys walking all over the place. I was like, and so the rodeo was in town, and it's neat to see. I think it's a neat vibe there.
Yeah, it gets country.
Yeah.
But I've been wearing cowgirl hats for a long time, and cowgirl boots. I like collect them, so I have a big Barbie closet upstairs, and then I have them all on display like a boutique. And yeah, I have cowgirl boots and hats of every color.
How about that? That's awesome.
This is my time to shine at Cowboy Christmas.
Cowboy Christmas. Party down.
My fashion week.
That's it. Let's see. I think that was all the super chat questions we had. Let me make sure if I overlooked one.
One day I'm going to stream from my closet. That's my goal.
Ooh, yeah. You should do that. I think that's a cool idea, actually.
Yeah.
Man.
Show everybody, because it does look like it's a bedroom that we turned into a closet.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's really big and everything's pink, the ceiling and everything, and it looks like a boutique. So I just got to keep it clean long enough to show y'all.
Well, let me ask you this. How do you organize it? Do you organize it by color, or do you organize it by style, or do you do
I organize it now by section or by workout. So like since I have different workouts, I'll have like my CrossFit workout clothes, then like my Pilates workout clothes, then like content clothes, which is like lingerie, bikinis, and then like formal dresses, and I'll have that together, and then jackets, stuff like that. And then like some outfits are like things I'd wear to like wrestling events, and that's like a certain section too. We used to have people organizing for us, but then when I would like have pay people to do it, it'd be like hard to find my stuff. So I'm trying to do better at like giving things away, not like saving things I don't need. So that helps with me organizing my own stuff.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Oh man.
And then I can take like an inventory on it, and then I know what I have, because then we'll get like random invites where we have to like dress up like randomly. So I just have to stay ready and always have looks on deck.
That's it. Well, cool.
Yeah, Johnny said that he sent you a picture of that TV.
I saw that.
Let me see here.
Oh, I thought he meant to.
Was it on Facebook?
I saw one earlier. Johnny said he was going to message me on Facebook.
He said he sent it to Dom.
Okay, good. That's better, because I don't
message me.
That's
trying to see.
And while you're looking that up, I was going to answer this question. No, I don't remember almost going to WCW in 2001 when ECW folded. I could see where that would be possible, though, but no, they were already closed.
Yeah, basically, right? It was like almost at the same time, and they were going downhill. They were
closed. I didn't know you meant cash. I think. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I could see where I would be considering what all my options were. And I was doing Black Mass 2 in Thailand and thinking, like, dude, I'm going to be an action star. That's be awesome. But I don't even know who was in charge of WCW or if they were sold already. Because when I went to WWE in 2001, obviously the invasion was happening.
Yes.
Was it happening before I got there?
No, you were definitely part of. That's when it took off.
It didn't. So it just started. Well, because like that Booker and Marcus Alexander match that happened before I was there.
Did it?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, maybe you might be right. So maybe they that might have. Yeah, you might be right, Rob. Because I think they introduced WCW first.
Yeah, I think
when they bought it, and then ECW was the added layer onto it, and that's when Stephanie came in and all that stuff.
I don't see how I could have been considering going to WCW in 2001 because they were either sold or they were for sale on the chopping block.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I do remember Eric Bischoff was a possible buyer when.
That's right.
With Fusco, something called Fusco, some Japanese investment. I don't know if they were an investment company, but someone who was working with, I think they were called Fusco. That's what's in my head, Fusco. Maybe I got that wrong, but something like that. And anyway, maybe I was potentially part of that plan if he was one of the buyers that was going to acquire. Or was it ECW he was going to buy? I think it was WCW.
He was going to buy WCW.
He was.
Yeah, he was getting buyers together to purchase it, but then I think Vince bought it before he did, or something. Or
the rumor was for a while it was looking like he was going to get it with that Fusco or whatever the fuck. If I'm saying it wrong, but yeah. So yeah, maybe I was talking to him probably during that time. Seems like I would have been maybe.
Boy, yeah. Boy, what a get that would have been for them at that time if that happened. All right, so I have the images that Gianni sent me of the replica belt. So here's
let this Dibby go out.
Yeah, let me.
Someone said it looks like I am the man. Why? Because I'm sitting behind Rob. That's the way I'm sitting.
Maybe they think you're Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Becky Lynch.
Is it my new neck muscle?
All right, here's.
Mom laughing at that when we were like at a grocery store or something, and I was standing behind him like this.
Because I'm a little spoon.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm the little spoon?
I don't think that's weird.
No. Not weird. All right, here's the replica title belt. Here's what he has.
Whoa, that is badass.
Yeah,
I gotta have it.
There's a closer look at this.
All right, thanks, Johnny. That's awesome. That looks fucking just like the one I got upstairs.
Yeah, that looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have that red television stripe across it. That doesn't look familiar, but maybe it's just faded on mine or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look, but that is badass. Yeah, whenever I see that, I feel personally attached to that title. Like I feel like I breathe, one of its lives into it, and for its whole life. And so that's how I feel about that. Like I made that belt mean something.
Absolutely,
awesome.
yeah. Synonymous with it. Synonymous. All right, we got a couple more super chats in here that chimed on in. Bernard says everyone seems to hate Tony Gurria as a road agent. What say you? Did he pass the RVD vibe check? Tony Gurria.
I don't remember ever having a problem with him. I think I got along with him. He was always in a jokey mood, like a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
He always seemed to be like kind of sarcastic. Yeah, I thought he was fine. I remember going up to him. I know I told this story before, but one of the, I feel like it was a WrestleMania, but it was some pay-per-view we were at where I went out to smoke, and when I came back, Terry Taylor, no, everyone that I passed was like, Terry Taylor's been looking for you. Terry Taylor's been looking for you. You know, hey, have you seen Terry Taylor? He's looking for you. And I started getting pissed because he was trying to make a project out of me. He was new there as an agent, and I already felt like, because I had some bad habits, and I figured that it looked like he was going to try to latch on to me and my bad habits to try to validate himself a job, and I took a lot of offense to that. and I was going around and everybody was, and so I can't remember if I talked to him first. Yeah, I guess I talked to him first. Like I walked into the arena, and he was down there by the ring, and he was very dramatic with his hands so that everybody could see him, from the top of the bleachers. And he was like, Rob, there you are. Well, where have you been? Like, I can't have you like be not here at the building, when we're in the ring and we need stuff. We need to go over stuff. We need to talk about what's going to happen tonight. You're not here. And I looked at, actually, first I saw him somewhere, like I think in the hallway where no one else really saw us. And he told me all this, Rob, no, not as much hand gestures now. Anyway, I saw him and he's like, Rob, where have you been? I can't have you not here when we're going over the mat. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about, dude? I was just out in the fucking parking lot, and he was like, man, we need you here at the building. We come here at a certain time, and that's for a reason. And I was like, all right, whatever. And I'm already hating this guy, thinking like, I'm not gonna be his fucking project. What's he fuck that. He thinks that he's, a lot of the talent afraid of the agents. They don't want to turn the wrong person off. A lot of shit that I should have cared more about, maybe, that I didn't. But anyway, when I went into the arena a few minutes later, he was down there by the ring, and he went through the whole same thing, but this time with big fucking YMCA, all this shit. Yeah. And boom, 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 boom. And then, we're going over the match. And I go, I know, Terry. You just told me that like 5 minutes ago. And he goes, I did? I go, yeah. He goes, well, then why am I telling you again? I go, I think you're trying to validate your job. Yeah. And then, but then the reason I brought that up is because then I went around, and everyone that I saw that was an agent, a referee, anybody that wasn't talent, that would be office person, I'd say, hey, have you seen Terry Taylor? Tell him I'm looking for him. And you reminded me of that because Tony Correa was one of those people. I was like, he told it to me earlier. Have you seen Terry? He's been looking for you. He wants, and so later on, I was like, hey, Tony, you know where Terry Taylor is? We tell him I'm looking for him, bro. Tell him, okay? Make sure you tell him.
Let him know. I really want to see him.
I've heard people talk some shit about Tony, but I can't back up any of that trash talk on him from any personal experience.
Oh, yeah. I never heard anything bad about him, actually.
Well, I love you, baby. Some people say that, he would like kind of stand around and watch everyone shower.
Oh, really?
That I don't think. I mean, I never noticed that.
Hope I didn't get lipstick on you.
I love you, baby. Why? Because my girlfriend will find out. I love you.
I love you.
Where are you going? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, have fun.
Okay, baby.
Be safe.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Thanks for doing the show, baby.
Yeah, I'll do this
thanks
tomorrow.
for showing up. That was good times.
Cool.
I'm gonna start chilling with y'all tomorrow.
Chill on out. Heck yeah. All right.
Baby.
Love you, baby.
We had another question from Baby Mahara.
Barbar. Hey, Barbar.
Barbar's hanging out.
Oh,
All right, Barbar, look at her.
hey.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You want to do the podcast with Dad? She calls me Dad.
He's ready.
Ooh, why is there banana peel on the couch next to me? Gross.
Don't slip on it.
Don't flip on that.
Bye,
Uh,
dude. Be safe.
Love you, Robert.
Love you.
See you guys. All right, Baby Mahara asked, would you like it if we had another Attitude Era or no?
I don't know. I mean, what defines attitude era? You know what I mean? Like, what standards would define that? Are you talking about the stars? Like how it was the show was loaded with stars, you know, The Rock, Steve Austin, Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, all these guys on the same shows? Is that, or was it just the anti-hero, edgy stuff? Is that what makes the Attitude Era? I don't know. So I don't really know how to answer that. You know, just always the industry always goes through changes, and you know, the target audience changes. You know, it's kids, and then no, it's teenagers. Okay, no, it's adults, and then okay, let's go back to kids. And a lot of it has to do with sponsors. A lot of the rules would also like go through cycles, as far as like referees, if they don't kick out, fucking count them down. You know, if their shoulder's still down, boom, we want credibility for our refs. And then it can get back to where the ref's fired if he counts a guy down and he's not supposed to do that. And changes, everything comes around, changes. You know, I don't really know exactly what changes would be required to go from where they're at now to an Attitude Era.
I would think maybe like the edgy content and like the like scandalous stuff, and you know, blending all that together. I think it's maybe since they're going to Netflix, the handcuffs might be off a little bit in regards to what they can do on television in comparison to what they can put on Netflix, because they can do anything they want. But I don't know if it would vibe like as it was. I think that it was just appropriate for the time period. Everybody was kind of clamoring for that kind of stuff back then, where now it's just like, yeah, I think you could get some elements of an Attitude Era, but it wouldn't be the same, you know? So it's kind of my thoughts on that, but I don't know.
No.
Bernard with another super chat. Everybody does a Dusty Rhodes, but Rob, you have the best Paul Heyman impression I've ever heard. Nobody beats you there. I agree with that, Rob.
I didn't know you meant cash. Cash. Yeah, some of the guys, I got to hear their voice to do it again. I was trying to do me from Saints Row last week. It's been too long to even remember what my voice sounded like. But yeah, so some people you can't talk about them and quote them without doing their voice. You know, like Michael Hayes. You can't do Michael Hayes and say, yeah, Michael said, you know, Rob, you should no, you gotta, you know, you know what you ought to do. You know.
That's a pretty good.
I'll tell you what you ought to do.
That's a good one, too. I think Paul Heyman is my favorite of yours, but I will say a close second is your version of your young self, young RVD. Very funny too.
I'm really looking forward to meeting you. I can't wait to see you too, Johnny. It's gonna be terrific. Did we show that promo that for the
No, the one with you and Fonzie where you're talking?
No. There's one that what's his name? Not Buck. This was like maybe it was the first year or two that I was around. It was from Al Snow's Lima, Ohio wrestling promotion. And the guy, I'm blanking on his name. He was the referee. And he has a name like Buck or something, but it's not that. What is your name, dude? Anyway, way back when I started, 90, 91, the promoter was Malcolm Monroe and Huck. That's why he's the referee back then. Anyway, from way back then, he on Facebook hit me up recently and said, "Hey, I got this. I came across this gem. You know, do you mind if I share it?" I was like, "Fuck no, do it." And I thought that I might have shown it on here.
Was it the Marilyn Monroe one?
No.
Okay.
Even before that, but not probably long before that. I think it might have been on my way down to maybe 1 year before that, and it's something to be proud of.
We'll have to. If you send it to me, well, I'll try to get it on here next.
I'm
week.
like, when I'm in this tournament, I'm gonna win it because I'm here to get things done. Came all the way from Battle Creek. I'm not stopping now.
Not stopping now.
Something like that.
I love it. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Venus Beach Dub Club. Seth says my super chat wasn't blank. It had a Santa emoji. Oh, I saw the Santa emoji.
Oh, Merry Christmas to all.
And then Seth's song. Seth, tell me what your song is again. I know it's Santa. Is it Santa Claus is Real? I know Santa Claus is Real. I think that's the name of the song. But send me a reminder on here. Bernard Meltzer said WWE won't allow you to wrestle. True. We talked about that a week ago, and Sabu mentioned that you were injured, but yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. So Seth says he's in a giving mood because of Christmas. Feels great. And then Seth says, "Here, Dom, buy something nice for your cat." Oh, thanks. I appreciate that too. That's all we got for Super Chat. Seth, if you tell me what you're... Oh, I know Santa Claus is Real. So go to Spotify and check it out. It's a new song that Seth released, and download a little Higher Wire out of it too. So there we go. Oh, what was this? Yeah, okay. So Mackenzie asked, didn't Michael Hayes complain about your attire or something petty like that? Did he complain about your attire once?
I guess you could call it a complaint. He suggested that I switch from the airbrush outfit to having WWE make an outfit that has patches on it and stuff. He did say the tie-dye kind of reminds us of the 70s. And, and I was like, I don't think I have tie-dye in any of them.
It's not tie-dye, really.
But then I did have them make one. It's black. It's got a red dragon. And I ended up just wearing that for the house shows and then getting the painted outfits for TV because they fade. You can only wear them once. They're like brand new. And if you wash them, they fade right away. Otherwise, I might get a couple of uses out of them before they fade too much to even wear. So, on TVs, I'd wear the painted outfits. And then on the house shows, I would wear the one that wasn't painted because, 3 or 4 days a week, I could wear that, wash it, not worry about it fading.
Yeah, that's good. Savvy move.
Yeah.
Savvy move. Okay, so we do have another super chat by Bernard. This is an interesting one. Would you ever be down to mocapping your moves for WWE2K? The guy doing your moves don't feel like RVD. We need a real 5-star frog splash. Would you mocap your own moves for the right price, Rob?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I did do it for one game that everyone is still waiting to come out, Virtual Basement.
Oh.
Yep, I did all my shit for that one quite a while ago. And then, he's been acquiring more and more talent, and I don't know when he's planning on coming out. But I'd be down to do that again, sure.
Yeah, why the heck not?
Why not?
That'd be sweet. Cool. Well, Rob, guys, if we talk about smoking with Rob on here. If you want to smoke real with Rob, you go to rvd420.com. Get some good glassware that the guys at Greek Glass make for Rob, and it's some good looking stuff. So go to rvd420.com, check it out. Boom. Look at that one. Look at that one. And look at that one. And there's more there. There's plenty. There's like at least 6 more on there that you can check out.
Did you call me a moron?
No, never.
Oh.
No, of course not. And then you can go to onlywrestlers.com. Be sure to sign up. Get your account set up there and check out all the talent. There's over 7 pages, maybe more at this point. But go over there and check it out. Onlywrestlers.com. If you want some RVD merch, you can go to 1tsport.com, get that Dragon t-shirt, or you can get that old school ECW style crew neck or crew sweater that has that old RVD logo. But I also made a new thing with that one, and it is the beanie. Get the too damn cool RVD beanie. I'm actually going to get that too while I'm at it. So go to One True Sport Collections RVD. Check it out. Did want to give a shout out to the person who made this shirt, Doug Halliday. He passed away, unfortunately, and so wanted to wear this in honor of him. But he did some great work with Party Puffin. What apparel was his business, but he very upbeat, positive individual. Never got to meet him in person, but really appreciated the kindness and his positive outlook he gave. But yeah, he fought a hard battle with cancer, so and he just passed away a couple of days ago. So wanted to give a shout out to him and his family, and also shout out to Tom George, a PR person for Major League Wrestling. He passed away as well. So just wanted to give those guys shout outs and stuff like that. But Rob, anything you want to plug going here?
Yeah, but also Big Roca, you missed it. We already talked about all that.
Oh, what did they ask about?
Asking about Maven. He's commenting on Maven. What he said.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll just pop your super chat up though. Yes. So we did cover this, and it's a great story, Big Roca. So check it out.
If you're on right now, can you go back and watch earlier or no? Because it's
yeah, you can. You have the capability to do that. You can just hit the rewind.
Online gimmick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go back kind of midway, maybe Rob, we might have talked about that. But yeah, tune in. It's a great story. Fun stuff. Rob has another story onto it that you want.
And then Mark Henry comes on right after I tell you I had a dream about him.
What the heck?
You show me him what? I love Mark.
You're gonna have another dream now.
he don't creep me out. I just thought the conversation was funny. But anyway, so anything to plug? Yeah, kind of. So I have a birthday coming up. And it'll probably before our next show. It's in 5 days. And so I just wanted to share my perspective, my ideology, how I look at birthdays and at aging, because guess what? It seems to be a little different than most people. And maybe after hearing me, sometimes I might change some other people's minds. Maybe I'm hoping maybe they can find ways to improve from my experience, whether they change, whether they agree, or whether it just reconfirms how they do shit different. Anyway, I'm going to be 54 years old, and I love getting older. I fucking love it. I wouldn't go back in time. The longer I look back, the harder life seems to be. It seems like the more times you see the sun turn into the moon, you get comfortable with what you know about it, and you get to where you can count on the sun turning into the moon every 24 hours, and it's everything that comes with experience is, to me, the most valuable. I will say I don't have kids, and I could see where if I had kids, then maybe I would not like aging, because I would feel like I'm going to have less time with them or something like that. I don't know. But what I do know is none of us know when we're going to go. There's, out of, if there's 6,000 people watching this, out of all the ones that are under 20 that are thinking like, wow, we're going to see RVD go someday. Have you ever thought about half of you aren't going to live long enough to see it? No, you don't even think about that stuff. And it could drive you crazy if you focused on it. And we've done some RVDology on what you really know, and knowing what you know and what you don't know. And that's something that you just don't know, Katie's this is kind of personal, but to make that point though, Katie's sisters and her were having a conversation. Katie and I have an age gap, and so the sister said something about like what if I go 20 years before her? And Katie was like, how could you even like think that when your husband like just died like in his like early 30s or something? And it's man, I got no filter. I'm not supposed to be telling you about this shit, but it's just to the point of you never fucking know. But anyway, I don't know if it's a depressive gene inside of me, but I kind of feel like I would be one of those people where when it's time to go, I'll be ready. It's like kind of like from a certain perspective, there's like a relieving feeling to be like, all right, I did it. I made it, like I did that. But just because it's a struggle for all of us, we all struggle in different ways. We all have challenges. We have problems that we solve throughout the day. That's part of being alive. It's part of growing. And, I really enjoyed life. For me, I think like the worst part of thinking about passing away is the pain it would cause other people, like Katie, like my mom if she's around, for instance, and I know a lot of you would be upset that are watching this too. You don't have to worry about that. I'm not planning on going anywhere. But man, I got a lot of respect for older people. I'd rather hang out with older people than younger people. They know more about life. And I just don't really get behind what most people feel about aging. Well, we're not getting any younger. That's not one of my expressions, like when people say that, to me, it sounds like, there's no fighting gravity. Like, yeah.
Yep.
But I get it, but I don't feel the same way. I don't feel that chuckle behind it. That it's like people say that, and it's like they're looking for a response, like whether you that's true or whether you're going to open up and say, "Oh my God, tell me about it." My back. I don't know what they're looking for, but when they say it, sometimes it's like you ain't getting any. We're not getting any younger though. Sometimes it's like okay, your move. And usually I just will no sell it. And be like, duh, tell me something else I don't know. But I also don't want to get any younger. The younger I am, the stupider I am, the less respect I get and probably deserve. So anyway, I've told this story before. One time I remember being at this mushroom pizza place after a show, like in Dalton, Georgia. And anyway, a bunch of the wrestlers were there, and we were talking to the girls that worked there and stuff. And this one girl was like, "How old are you?" And I think I was maybe 38. And she was like, "I'd go with 34." And I was like, "No, I'm 38." She's like, "I'd go with 34." I'm like, "Why? You get away with it. Why would I want to?" Like I totally act like I had no idea what she was talking about because it's stupid to me, I'm like, no, I'm 38. Why would I want people to think I'm 34? And for a lot of people, that's just normal. It's part of society. People like to lie about their age or don't want to talk about it or whatever. Is it because they're closer to death? Is it just because they have less time? Because I kind of feel like when you die, you're not going to know. You're just done. So it's, who knows? But some people think the afterlife's even better and something you should look forward to, but either way, life is, Lovey wants to play fetch.
Let's play some fetch.
She brought me her toy. Anyway, I love aging. I do. And I got to say, from my personal perspective, my life has gotten better and better and better, especially since I wasted we could say wasted or invested, but spent a lot of time with somebody that wasn't the right person to be with. So I look at that whole time period, and I remember how my evil ex we didn't have it. She didn't respect me or my intelligence, my decision making skills. Everything was a challenge, from where do you want to eat, to fucking yeah, I'm going to bed. Everything was a fight. Because of that, my life's way better. But also in every way, like I said, the more you're alive, the more you see the sun turn into the moon, the more comfortable you can get with it. And I don't know if that sounds weird, but what I'm saying is that the longer you're alive, the more used to everything you are. And so, just from being that socially awkward introvert that we were talking about from, first time talking to the veteran wrestlers when I'm right out of high school, bragging about my spelling bee, just coming from that. I'm just saying that, is that a clock? I feel like I'm talking now. Whoa.
Do you see a clock?
No, it's the yin yang.
Oh.
Coming from that, I can't imagine why I would want to go back to that. And I'm more comfortable now, and I look forward to the future. And man, I had a lot of our friends, my peers, people didn't get to age because they were done very young. A lot of them, as you know. So I also feel like it's good fortune. Like I'm fortunate to be able to keep on keeping on. Old or young is one of those things because it's subjective, but then also it's kind of like at a certain point almost a fact. Like if you see a 90-year-old dude, white hair, walking with a walker, you'd have a hard argument saying, hey man, he's not an old man, right?
Yeah.
Right. But someone like at my age, like if someone says he's not an old man, no, he's 54, that's an old man. Maybe there should be like a line where it's fact or not. It's weird. It's kind of weird that it's not, but kind of not weird because it's kind of subjective, like old or young, just like to a certain extent, you could say, wow, that guy's really tall. No, he's not. But at 8 feet tall, you can't say, no, he's not anymore. So it's subjective to a point, but then maybe there should be a line, where you are or you're not. I don't know. I know when I was younger, really young, when I was a kid, I probably thought 35 sounded like pretty old. I don't know if I thought it sounded like an old man. 50 for sure. 50 is used as a reference. Here comes this 50-year-old guy. That's automatically like something that we still pull out and like as if that's crossed the line and you're talking about an old person. You are talking about someone that's lived longer, probably more years behind him than there are ahead of him, if that's what you want to say is older. But either way, it's something that's subjective. And so like if people want to be like, dude, RVD, you're old, okay, if you want to, I think looking your age is fine. Nobody wants to feel insulted, like what one comment said on the something about that I wore shades because it said he's 53 but he looks 73. Okay, whatever. Like if that's if that's what you think, then whatever. But to me, aging isn't a bad thing. Being young is more of something that I would rather stay away from, and I enjoy this part of life a lot better than I did in certain ways. And so anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. December 18th, I'll be 54, and I gotta get in the gym and train for my annual in respect to Chris Jericho's shirtless birthday pic. I gotta I do it every year, and he's never liked mine. He's never commented, but every year I see him with his shirtless. Well, hello, 54, looking in the mirror. So I always follow up because our birthdays are by each other, and I always follow up, saying in honor and tradition of Chris Jericho's shirtless birthday pic. Here's 54, and I don't know why he doesn't like mine, but we could all take our own guesses. Yeah. All right, cool, man. I gotta pee again. So,
Damn.
maybe wrap it up. I don't got Katie here anymore.
That's it. Okay. Well, guys, yes, if you like what you're seeing, be sure to go to Rob's YouTube channel, subscribe there. Go to rvdtv.com. That's where the new episodes release every Monday at 4:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can tune in every Monday. You'll get that. You'll get a whole bunch of clips. Be sure to rate us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And like I said before, go to onlywrestlers.com, sign up now, get your account all set up, and enjoy the fun. This has been fun. What a way to spend a Friday night. And cool to have Katie here. Cool to have you here, Rob. So
cool to have you here, Dom. And cool to have you here, people.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Van Dam fam. Next week, probably Friday again. It's going to work for me. You.
Yeah, it works for me. Hell yeah.
Cool.
We'll see you next Friday then, guys.
See ya.
See you.